Sammi Awuku, so tell us, where did this super delegates thing come from?
Well, Paul, good evening to your cherished viewers. I think we've come from a certain history, post 2007, where we had 17 aspirants vying for the flag bearership slot of our party. Afterwards, as a party, we needed to also have an internal reflection and retrospection as to what had happened. Then the party in 2009 decided to also adopt for itself measures and mechanisms to help prune down the numbers before you present them to the main National Delegates Conference. So basically, at that National Delegate Conference, a trade fair, decided that the party adopting its new constitutional provision and based on Article 12, Article 12(5)(b), so where there are more than 5 contestants for nomination as the party's presidential candidate, a special electoral college shall cast their vote by secret ballot for the first 5 contestants to be shortlisted. The special electoral college shall comprise the following delegates. 1, the National Council of the party, and that's the second highest decision-making body after Congress. Then
National Council is higher than National Executive?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the party's hierarchy, you have the National Delegates Conference.
The big one we all know.
Yes. But when it's a presidential election, we call it Congress. Okay. But it's almost the same body. So the National Delegates, the National Council being the second.
Who are they? Who is National Council?
So National Council comprises of the following. Members of the National Executive Committee.
All of them?
All of them. The region, then you also have reps from the regions. Every region has, it depends. Every region, when it's about 8 constituencies, 6 to 8, you have some reps being represented on the National Council, about 1.
Okay.
When it's more than 6 to 8 constituencies, you have 2. So that's how they multiply.
Okay, so Ashanti has more?
Yes, Ashanti has more. Then you also have about 20 members of parliament drawn from our parliamentary party. Then you have the former president, former general secretaries, former national chairman, former national executives, or former national officers.
If there's a former vice president?
Former vice president.
It's a chief of staff? Former
the chief of staff basically attends NEC and council.
Current.
The current.
Okay.
Represents at council or NEC, representing the patrons, because at every NEC or council, there's a rep from the patrons. So normally, and in times that we have seen this, on most occasions, the chief of staff, right from President Kufuor's time, they normally also sit at NEC and council.
Well, President Kufuor's chief of staff was particularly political.
Well, every chief of staff must be political.
I'm not sure whether Akosua Freeman is as political as Kojo Mpianim used to be.
Everybody understands.
Political, I'm using political to mean one who has a side in the situation. Auntie Freeman does not appear to be one who... Kojo Mpianim is NLM, PFP, we know that, you know. Is it the only chief of staff we have had? Jake too. Jake is UNC.
Yes, and Jake also has a former national chairman. May he so rest in peace.
Yes,
so you have these categories of people. Then, so this special delegate, the voting electoral college, you have members of the National Council. You have the National Executive Committee. You have the Regional Executive Committees.
Regional Executive Committee, all of them?
When we say Regional Executive Committees, you're also talking about all regional executives.
Yeah, that's about what, 12 people?
17.
17 people.
Then you have all constituency chairmen.
In the region?
In the Regional Executive Committee.
So this election has all constituencies, 275?
In fact, plus 1, 276, because of SAL.
So how are you treating SAL?
We treat them as a constituency because the Electoral Commission is aware that both political parties, the NPP and the NDC, have elected constituency executives.
For SAL?
For SAL.
So technically we are operating 276?
We are operating 276, but in
Parliament we have 275. So is there going to be a vote in SAL
as
this
a political party, you prepare. And then
so you have elected a constituency executive for SAL?
We do have them.
That is SAL is what? Mikhail, remind me. Lolobi.
Yes.
Santrophy.
Yes.
Lolobi. The A is what? Akpafo. Santrophy, yes. Akpafo, Lolobi, and is that all? SAL. But there's Santrophy, there's Akpafo, and there's Lolobi. Frankly, Kujo comes from there.
Yes.
He's made the point.
Then you have also 5 reps from the patrons and reps from the Council of Elders within the region who are voting members. So then you also do have National Council of Elders. We have National Council of Elders within our party. That's chaired by the Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyemang.
Who are they?
Well, these are our
older
elders,
people.
very distinguished.
Michael Quay.
Michael Quay, the Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, Mahami Salifu, Dr. Kwame Adokufo. I'm not too sure he's a member of the Council of Elders. Then you have Sechi
Were you saying something?
Sechi Hughes. You mentioned Sechi Hughes. Felix Owusu Japan. They have that category. These are our elders that more or less, it used to be chaired by the late C.K. Tedam, and now being chaired by the Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyemang.
Is Wafakojompieni part of National Council?
Yes. Wafakojompieni is part of National Council. And then you do have members of parliament. You have 3 representatives of each of special organs of the party. When we say special organs, we're talking about the Nasara, the youth wing, the women's wing. So they have 3 reps voting in this special delegate. Then you have past national officers. For me, as a past national officer, I qualify to vote here. And then also I qualify to vote if I was voting in the category of National Council, because I represent the Eastern Region to on council.
I see. Elected by the Eastern Region?
Yes, elected, well appointed.
Okay.
That's how normally it goes. The region will present some members to National Council that these are our reps. If you take someone like the Honorable Adom-Otchere, he could have voted in 3 categories: as a former General Secretary, as a Member of Parliament, and as a Minister of State. But then you have to choose which category that you need to vote under.
So everyone is voting once?
Once. And then
you have hold on, there was rumor in Tamale today that President Kufuor has appointed a proxy. Is it true?
I'm not seized with that fact.
Okay.
And then you have 3 representatives from each external branch. The NPP, we have almost 20 external branches. We have NPP China, NPP UK.
I have to do this for my ministers. I go. Good evening to Kweku Furesiyama, the Minister for Transport, no size. He's watching and he says that you are getting it very correct. But if you make a mistake, he'll call me.
Kweku, I know. He used to be a member of council when we were in opposition.
Oh, I see.
For representing the central region.
I see.
Then you also have founding members during the registration of the party at the Electoral Commission. These were the people who signed our registration document. If you go to the original. The whole of Western region, there's just one. Yes. Mr. Frank Asari, he's based in Takwa. Well, now he's getting old. I was with him yesterday.
So they signed this in 92?
They signed it in 92.
Are they still alive?
There's quite a number of them are alive. But of course, many have also passed.
So when people say I'm a founding member, that's what they mean?
As a founding member, yes. They were part of those who signed region by region at that time for us to be able to register.
But that includes people who are now with NDC? Like Kwabena Dufo?
But for us, for those current, Kwabena Dufo cannot vote because he's not a member of the party.
Yes, but he did that. He signed that thing. He's been saying it.
But now, basically, you can only vote if you're a member of the party.
Okay.
Then you have all new patriotic party card-bearing ministers when the party is in government. And then...
Card-bearing?
They said every delegate
shall be entitled
to one vote. Well, you can have a minister who is not card-bearing. I'll give you an example. During President Kufuor's era, Dr. Parkway Sindum served in our government, but he was not a card-bearing member of the NPP.
Okay.
So these people represent the NPP in its totality. And I'm saying this because every constituency chairman represents his constituents, represents his polling station, electoral area coordinators, and his executives. You cannot vote just because you want to vote for Paul or Sammi. You have to consult them. So your vote that you are about to cast should represent the interest of your people. And that is why in your analysis in 2014, if you look at the trend, whatever Nanado got...
Can you put that on quickly so that we can refer to
2014.
Put it on very quickly. The 2014 delegates.
You realize that the vote...
There you have it.
So at the special delegates, Nanado had 83.15%.
Yes.
That was quite a big majority. But then if you go to the main conference...
Shift to the main then.
He had a bigger
94.
94.
Yeah.
So these delegates that I have also mentioned to the external branches, they decided, these 3 executives of ours go and vote this way. And so now this caucusing, these discussions have taken place, especially for the external branches. As we speak, ongoing engagement between the constituency chairman, their polling station executives, their coordinators, and the constituency executives are ongoing. So anybody who downplays the winner for Saturday's polls, then you're underestimating the strength of our party at the base. And when you vote against what the people want, the party delegates will show you that this wasn't how we wanted you to vote. And so I am yet to see a situation where you can lose the super delegate and go ahead to win the main. Because this is the cream of the party. They represent the rank and file. Every constituency is represented in the ballot box. Every member of parliament serving on our ticket represents his constituency. That's Little Ghana. Every external branch of our party is represented in that ballot box when the votes are being counted.
But if that is so, Sammi Awuku, if that is so, why do you have to cast the second ballot?
Well,
if all the representation is contained in the super delegate, let's leave it there.
But I did indicate that this was also to help prune down the number when there are more than 5 because of our experience in 2007. And for the party to also have clarity as to the number of people representing to the main National Delegate Conference. And so for us, we've tried this, and we believe that it's a tradition we're not going to depart from. And for me, let me salute all the aspirants. Paul, campaigning is not easy. The 10 aspirants, I think they've done well. These are all royals of the NPP that I have utmost respect for. And on any day, any of them can make a very good showing in 2024. But I believe that Dr. Bawumia will present a very strategic choice for the NPP in 2024.
People think that because you are Sammi Awuku, you are an institution of the party. Look at
I don't know what you mean by institution.
Institution is
but
that
I've worked and served the party as a youth leader.
The national youth leader of the party. You've been the national organizer of the party.
And
actually,
the deputy
you have been a
communications
successful
director.
national organizer of the party. And you were a youth leader when the party came to power, collecting a lot of youth votes to give us one of our biggest...
Mobilize enough youth votes for the NPP to secure victory.
I said to give us, they're going to kill me. To give the NPP, sorry, to give the NPP, not to give us. All right.
Mobilize enough youth votes.
You mobilize many youthful votes. Well, most of the 1 million votes Akufo-Addo won were youth.
Predominantly young people.
Yeah, so that's what has made you institution of the party. Now, because of that, you shouldn't be saying Bawumia or Alan or anything. You should remain neutral.
I think it's a decision time. And this is a party that you cannot intimidate anybody. I'll be surprised if anybody tells me that these categories of people that we've mentioned can be intimidated. You cannot. These are people on their own strength. This is a party that a polling station election can end up at the High Court. A polling station election disagreement can go through to the High Court. So for me, I'm a member of council. And I believe that when it's a decision time, and I have to be part of the decision-making process. But you can what I cannot do would be to run down other candidates because it's a big family contest. And whoever wins, you must support the person. But I believe that it will also be tragic for me to pretend that I don't have an interest. I do have an interest on the ballot. Why? And again, I am contesting someday to be member of parliament. When it is time, people must also freely express their will and their wishes. And if they don't think that I'll be a good representation for the people there, you cannot tell them that because, they are this, they are that, they shouldn't share an opinion. That opinion should be decorous. The opinion should not be confrontational. The opinion should enhance the party's image and energize the base of our party. And for me, I don't think I'm going to shirk responsibility. And so I was surprised when my former general secretary, that I worked so much under, Engineer Kwabena Ije Japan, a man I love so much. In fact, in 2014, when we first experimented this super delegate, he was the general secretary at that time. So he was not a campaign coordinator or manager.
Yes, a text has been sent for me to correct. Thank you for the correction.
And then, in fact, he even assigned me to the Eastern region to superintend.
For the first super delegate.
Yes, for the first super delegate. And so, if today he is saying that some of us should just keep mute, that would be unfair to me. And as I have said, General is one of the great guys in the party. And I call him Kala. He's a strong guy.
But why are you supporting Dr. Bawumia? Why do you think he should be Dr. Bawumia?
You know, Paul, somebody was talking about this one coming into the party late or early. First of all, I became really active in the NPP in 2008. I had not held a position at TESCON, at polling station, at electoral area, constituency, regional, no. But then the party made me Deputy Communications Director in 2011. This was less than 3 years after becoming active in the party.
Who was Communications Director?
Nana Kumia.
Yeah.
Nana Kumia mentored and trained me through the arts of communication. So from there, the party, I decided to put myself up to be youth leader. It was less than 7 years or so in the party. There were other people who had been in the party longer. But based on the strength of my message and how I also campaigned and carried myself through the process. The party granted me an opportunity to serve.
So you took over from Cabo?
I took over from Cabo in 2014. And then...
yes, go on.
I think the time you took over Cabo because of his
parliamentary
in Laura. Atefa was active.
Atefa acted briefly.
Yes. You mean Ken Atefa?
No, Emmanuel
Atefa.
Not John Atefa.
No. Atefa was Cabo's deputy.
Yeah.
He acted briefly.
But the Cabo tried parliament in
2012. He contested.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
So, and then from there, I put myself up to be national organizer. So, clearly, yes, in Koforidua. So, Paul, it can, it will be an insult to my conscience and for my contribution to the party if you tell me that because I became active in 2008, the mobilization that I had to embark upon for us to win 2016 should not be counted because I had been less than 7 years or 8 years in the party. I think this is a party that rewards hard work. If you are not cut out for it, the NPP won't reward you. And I believe all those who are contesting, I have known them individually. These are people who have sacrificed for the party. And likewise, Dr. Bawumia, look, when it mattered most, I appeared before the justices of the Supreme Court. And Paul, standing before the justices of the Supreme Court was no joke. This man was in that witness box for months. Your temperament will be tested, your honesty will be tested, your integrity will be tested, and your ability to even comport yourself will be tested. In all this, when it mattered, Bawumia didn't say that, because I had gone through this process from 2008 and all. He had just recovered from an accident, a near fatal accident. Yeah. But he said, look, I want to put myself up to defend the party. I have said that let the party delegates decide. It's a conscience vote, and a vote that will also determine the destiny of our party. If at the end of the day, Bawumia does not emerge as the leader of our party, whoever emerges, we all are enjoying to support the person.